Hey Atlanta, if you're thinking of earning an MBA, you should be thinking about SMU Cox School of Business in Dallas, Texas. It's true, you've got lush landscapes and loads of creativity, but in Dallas, there's big sky country with Texas-sized opportunity. Dallas has led U.S. cities for job growth since 2010. We'll welcome you with Mustang spirit, and you'll find plenty of space to live and learn. So think outside the Peach State. Think SMU Cox. Visit us at smu.edu/Cox/Dallas to learn more.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woo-hooer, a hand clapper, a high-fiver? If you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. Choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Bringing Adoree back, I guess, when did you kind of have those conversations? What did you talk about?
Yeah, so those conversations were kind of ongoing before we signed him. Good to get him back here. We're focused on getting him ready to go, get him up to speed as quick as we can. I think my experience with him in Tennessee, his experience here with the coaches and the guys, I think is a benefit as well. But glad to have him back here. Excited to kind of get him rolling here.
Do you have experience with a guy coming in, this late and having to play a lot of snaps?
Yeah, I mean, you can ask all 32 teams. There's guys that come in on Tuesday that end up playing on Sunday throughout the year, So dealt with it in my time in Tennessee with some of the injuries we had. I mean, it's kind of the league, the nature of the league, just with numbers and injuries that occur throughout. Like, you got to be ready to get guys up to speed relatively quickly so they can go out and execute, and hopefully not ask them to do too much too early to where they're making mistakes and some things are coming up.
Shane, how would you describe the aggressiveness of your defense? Guys, I keep hearing you use the word aggressive, and guys here keep saying it's aggressive, but aggressive in a different way than we've been aggressive in the past, which was obviously blitz heavy. How would you describe your plan to be aggressive?
Yeah, I want these guys to attack. Like, I want them to have an attacking mentality with everything they do. Whether it's attacking the line of scrimmage up front, playing with our hands, leading with our hands, being violent with our hands. Whether it's linebackers getting downhill violently, physical, DBs getting out of breaks, showing up in the run game, staying on their feet, tackling, putting their chest on guys. It's a play style, right? Like, you play defensive football, I don't care if it's Pee Wee or if it's up to the NFL. Like, when you play defensive football, there's an expectation of physicality, toughness, aggression, being aggressive throughout. Totally different than scheme and kind of what that is and where that goes, but it's more about play style to me.
Would you say it's fair that nobody who was here throughout the summer for that second cornerback job won it?
I would say all those guys have been battling and competing throughout. We'll kind of see where it goes. I think bringing Adoree in is really just a chance for us to add some depth and have another option, right? And across the board, you want competition at every position. You want the roster to be as competitive as possible so guys improve and they feel the pressure of having to come out here every single day, a Tuesday in October, a Monday in December, and get better, right? So that's ultimately what we're trying to get done, is just continuing to push all these guys to be the best versions of themselves and again, put their best foot forward, and how it sorts out is how it sorts out. We gotta put the best guys out there. We owe it to the team. We owe it to the unit to put the best guys out there that we feel give us the best chance to win, and we got to navigate that as we go.
Obviously, with a player like Dex and even Brian Burns, you'd love to have him on the field 100% of the time, right? But what's your approach to playing time for defensive linemen? How much you think is reasonable? How much you want to, rotate guys in and out, keep them fresh?
Yeah, I think it depends on the guy. I think there's certain guys that can handle it, that can play a ton of snaps, and they never really feel it, and you don't really feel it when you're watching them. There's other guys that you get in the fourth quarter, starts to get noticeable. We got to be mindful of it, especially early in the season. Got to be mindful where we're at conditioning-wise. If we do end up playing with some heat, I think that's a big thing. But doing what we can to keep those guys fresh in the fourth quarter. All these games are going to come down to one-score games more times than not. So we got to be our best there, and hopefully those guys are in condition enough and we can spell them enough at times, at the right times, to where they're the freshest when we need them the most.
Shane, going back to your point about being aggressive, how do you balance being aggressive versus being smart and not committing discipline-related penalties that sometimes come with aggressiveness?
Yeah, no doubt. We talk about don't do dumb crap that hurts the team, right? Like, there's a fine line between being aggressive and hitting guys when it's legal and being stupid and hitting guys late, hitting the quarterback high, going low on the quarterback in the pocket. Like, we have to play within the rules. We understand that. Again, we want to toe the edge like we do. We want to get up to the edge of it, but at the same time, we can't do the dumb stuff that costs the team. It's tough to come back when you give these teams 15-yard penalties. Like, high percentage, they're probably going to result in points, right? So, just doing a good job understanding the rules of the game and how far we can take it. And a lot of that even goes into some of the officiating crews at times, just what they're allowing. I think we got to get a feel for that early on in the game, how they're calling things and what we're able to potentially get away with or be able to push the limit on.
Have you got any feel for the hip drop tackle? I don't think it's come into play with it.
Yeah, there were a few examples throughout the preseason that we sent into the league to get a little bit more clarity on just the examples of is this classified 3 areas that it takes to really be determined a hip drop tackle. So we'll kind of see as that goes here these first few weeks, see where they're at with it. But right now I think it's going to be a learning process for us and the officials as we go, and something we're going to have to continue to get information on throughout the season, get feedback from the officials on different things to kind of help us not get in those positions.
With Mike is somewhat of a question mark. What have you seen from Musso?
Yeah, I've been pleased with Darius. He's done a good job. I think he's improved throughout training camp. He's smart, doesn't make the same mistakes twice. I think he's got a pretty good understanding of situational football. I've been pleased with him. We'll kind of see where it goes with Micah this week. He was out here yesterday, so we'll play that by ear as it goes.
Shane, what you've gone up against Malik's neighbors here for the last month and a half. What kind of a headache is he going to be for the other defensive coordinators in this league?
Yeah, he's talented. I mean, I'm not going to do any comparisons or put any unfair expectations on him. He's a rookie. He's got to go out there and do it just like our guys and everybody else. But he's talented. The ability to separate, catch the ball. I mean, he's got the ability to be a good player in this league.
Your thoughts on tape?
Let me go here. Go ahead.
Defenses in Tennessee were always at or near the top of the NFL in red zone defense, and that's what we saw in the limited against the Texans. You guys had the red zone stuff. Why do you think that is? And is the description of bend, don't break, is that something you think is a good comparison, or is that an insult?
Yeah, I think as it relates to red zone defense, it takes all 11 down there. Like the run game, obviously you don't want to let teams run it in when you're that close, but the passing windows get tighter. We got to use that to our advantage and understand that. And I think the coordination, the understanding, being able to play off each other, the leverage that comes into play, just how you're able to fill windows with some different pieces at times. Hopefully that continues. I mean, hopefully we're working hard every day to hopefully be one of the better red zone defenses. It's a game changer, right? They score 3 points instead of 7. That's a huge difference in a game. I wouldn't necessarily say it's bend, don't break as much as it's let's make sure if they do get down there, we don't really care how they do, but let's make sure when they do get down there that we're defending our house. Like, that end zone's our house. We're going to do everything we can. We're going to empty the chamber. Like, we're going to defend our house and find ways, and that goes back to mental toughness, being able to play the next play, not be focused on what happened, but be focused on what's coming. I think that's probably more the emphasis from my point of view than really saying bend, don't break.
What makes Kevin O'Connell difficult to coach against? What makes him a good offense?
Yeah, they got a good scheme. He does a good job moving those guys around. They got talented pieces, obviously, on the perimeter. They added Aaron Jones in the backfield. The O-line's been together. But they do a good job manipulating to get guys in positions to where they can find openings. I think the run, the play action pass, complement each other. I think he does a good job building plays off the same look where they complement each other. So again, it's going to be a big challenge for us, obviously, with the talent they have on the offensive side, and then ultimately the scheme. I think Darnold's a really good fit for what they're doing offensively as well.
With Sam, do you think?
Shane, with being with Dexter Lawrence now as long as you have in the run-up to the season, what have you seen that either sets him apart or explains how he's able to do what he does and stay on the field as much as we've seen him do?
Yeah, that was one thing I'm surprised with when I got here, was just the amount of play time for a dude that big, and how hard he plays, right? Like there's a clip from yesterday that we showed today, just the effort, play in and play out, running, chasing the ball. He's a total pro. He does everything you want in the meeting room. He's vocal. He helps with the younger guys. He asks questions. And he comes out here and works. Like, he puts the work in. There's a reason he's to the level he's gotten to, and hopefully that continues and elevates even further. But it's because he's a pro and he works at it.
With Sam, is there anything that you could really take from his film with the Jets and the Panthers, or after that year with Kyle and now working with Kevin, do you think he's going to be a different player?
Yeah, I think it is different. I think probably going into a system that's similar to what he had in San Fran last year is going to benefit him, just because I think there's going to be some continuity for him. But we're going to have to do a good job. We're going to have to find ways to affect him. And again, hopefully do a good job stopping the run so we can play the play action pass game that's so good. And I'm sure they're going to get him on the edge a little bit as well. So we'll see. It's going to be a big challenge for us.
Hey there, it is Ryan Seacrest with you. Do you want to make this summer unforgettable? Join me at Chumba Casino. It's this summer's hottest online destination. They are rolling out the red carpet with an amazing welcome offer just for you. So don't wait. Dive in now and play hundreds of social casino games for free. Your chance to redeem real prizes is just a spin away. Care to join me?
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
The all-electric Chevy Equinox EV combines everything you need when you're ready to go EV. Starting at $34,995, the 2025 Equinox EV-LT gives you an impressive balance of all-electric range, safety features for peace of mind, and effortless technology, including the 17.7-inch diagonal display screen, all at a price you'll love. The Chevy Equinox EV is the fun-to-drive, all-electric SUV that gives you what you need to do exactly what you want. The manufacturer's suggested retail price excludes tax, title, license, dealer fees, and optional equipment. Dealer sets final price. To learn more, visit Chevy.com/Equinox EV.